One of the keys has been in the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which was signed back in about 1970, in which 190 countries, virtually every country on the face of the earth, has signed up to the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Distinguishes between nuclear weapon states, the U.S., Britain, Russia, China, and France. They're the guys that all have weapons and can enrich uranium. And the non-weapon states, which is everybody else, including the Iranians, signed up in there, for example, not to enrich. The Iranians have demanded, as part of this agreement, that they be allowed to enrich and that we sanction their right to enrich uranium, even though it violates the Non-Proliferation Treaty of 1970. It also tears up the 6 UN Security Council resolutions that were adopted over the years, 5 of them promoted by the U.S., 3 of them that went through on unanimous votes. All of those 6 basically are targeted on the Iranians because of their bad behavior, especially with respect to uranium enrichment. The agreement that Obama signed wipes out those 6 UN Security Council resolutions. They're now zeroed out, and we've sanctioned the ability of the Iranians to have enrichment capability. They're now the only ones under the NPT that are doing that. It's a direct violation of the NPT, but all of that's just been ignored and thrown out the window. So as you go through the process and think about it and look at what's been done here, I think the outcome is bleak. I think it's a terrible direction to go down. I think we had done a lot of work over the years with respect to trying to avoid the proliferation of nuclear weapons. I think the President has put in place now an agreement that is bound and determined to create enormous pressures for the proliferation of nuclear weapons in the Middle East, and that we're going to have to live with all of that in the future.
You know, I think another point or a way to sort of sum up how people should think about the agreement, you know, sometimes when you hear the President say, look, it's better than nothing. And remember, this is the man who's been telling us he won't accept a bad deal. And now he's saying, well, this bad deal is better than no deal. And it seems to me it's important to remember, number one, it won't accomplish what he says with respect to the nuclear weapons. For a number of reasons my dad listed, also because the inspections regime is, you know, Swiss cheese. It's absolutely full of holes. It will not enable us to have any sort of understanding, in-depth understanding of what the Iranians are doing. It won't enable us to catch them if they want to cheat. It's been amazing to see John Kerry saying, we will know with certainty what the Iranians are doing. We certainly won't. So it won't prevent them from having nuclear weapons. It will give them international cover and legitimacy, because suddenly you're having international business run in, suddenly they're no longer a pariah state because of this agreement. And at the same time, it gives them all of these benefits, $150 billion in cash, the lifting of the restrictions my dad mentioned. So you'll have Iran, which is sworn to destroy Israel, sworn recently to do everything it can to attack America, which chants death to America on a daily basis, now provided with funds, with weapons, and a pathway to a nuclear bomb. And when you think that you've got a president of the United States who has put all of that in place, it really is very, very difficult to understand why he would think, you know, if you'd said 10 years ago, our president is going to be providing the money and the weapons that Iran needs to attack the United States. That's exactly what this deal does, even before you get to the issue of a pathway to a nuclear weapon. It's a very dangerous deal. And it gets back to this notion of sort of the president's view of the world. And one of the things that is a theme that runs through the book that we spent a lot of time on is the extent to which you had presidents Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, you know, Nixon, Ford, Carter to a lesser extent, Reagan, understanding that weakness is provocative. This president doesn't understand that.